A candidate at the state pageant took one look at me during registration and announced, "Why did they let someone who shops at Target enter? This is a beauty pageant, not a charity event." Her 3 followers, Destiny, Brielle, and Kendra, laughed like she'd said something clever. They called themselves the Crown Squad and walked around in matching pink tracksuits with future winner bedazzled on the back. Melody would critique everyone, but saved her worst comments for me. "Your walk looks like you're trying not to pee," she'd say during rehearsals. "Your talent is reading poetry? What are you, 80? When I practiced, she'd stand behind judges making ugly faces. The other 3 would take pictures and giggle loud enough to throw off my concentration. In the dressing room, Melody would spray setting spray directly at my face, accidentally, every time. "Oops, didn't see you there. Maybe if you weren't so forgettable." She'd knock over my makeup, step on my dress, and hide my shoes. When I'd complain, Melody would cry and say I was bullying her because she was prettier. Melody had done pageants since she was 4. Her mother was a former Miss Something Important who nobody remembered. They had a trailer just for costumes and stylists who followed her around. She'd already picked where her crown would go in her trophy room, right between Miss Junior Coastal and Little Miss Strawberry Festival. She'd say while pointing at my face, "You should think about where you'll display your participation certificate. Maybe on your refrigerator?" 2 days before finals, Melody cornered me in the bathroom. "You should drop out. Save yourself the embarrassment. Everyone knows you don't belong here." The Crown Squad stood behind her like a bad music video. "I'm doing you a favor. When I win, you'll look even worse standing next to me." The night of the pageant, Melody had claimed the biggest dressing station with a velvet rope around it. She'd brought a photographer to capture her getting ready for the documentary about my rise to Miss America. Evening wear came first. Melody strutted out in a $10,000 crystal gown. I wore a simple navy dress I'd found on clearance and altered myself. Melody whispered "clearance rack" as we passed on stage. Talent was where everything shifted. Melody had promised a show-stopping dance routine she'd been perfecting for months. Professional choreographer, custom mix, thousands of costumes. She took the stage with complete confidence. The music started, and Melody forgot everything. Not just a few steps. Everything. She stood frozen for 5 seconds, then started doing random moves that didn't match the music. She tried recovering with what looked like 1980s aerobics. Then she attempted a spin, and her heel broke, sending her sliding across the stage on her stomach. The Crown Squad gasped in harmony. Melody got up, missing a shoe, and tried to finish, but the music had moved on. She was doing slow contemporary movements to fast hip-hop. She ended in an unplanned split and couldn't get up. Stagehands had to help her off. When I performed my poetry about strength, I got a standing ovation. Melody watched from backstage with one shoe, her dress ripped, makeup running from rage tears. Awards were announced in reverse order. 4th runner-up, Kendra. 3rd, Destiny. 2nd, Brielle. They stood there in coordinating dresses, looking like abandoned bridesmaids. Melody was convinced she'd won since she hadn't been called. She was already stepping forward when they announced the 1st runner-up was some other girl. Melody hadn't placed at all. Then special awards. Miss Congeniality, me. Best talent, me. Best interview, me. Best evening wear, somehow also me. Academic achievement, me. Community service, me. Director's choice, me, again. I stood there holding 7 awards while Melody held nothing. "This is rigged. She's not even pretty. Look at her Target dress," Melody screamed. The pageant director took the microphone. "Our judges were impressed that she achieved such elegance on a budget. It shows creativity and resourcefulness. Those are qualities we value more than expensive gowns that can't prevent someone from forgetting their entire routine." The audience laughed. Melody ran off stage, leaving her shoe behind like Discount Cinderella. The documentary crew she'd invited filmed her trying to rip her participation banner, but the material was too strong. The Crown Squad abandoned her immediately. Melody's mom had already posted about her daughter's guaranteed win, invited 200 people to a victory party, sent press releases about Melody's triumph. All had to be retracted. The party became a quiet dinner where Melody sat in her ripped gown, insisting there'd been a mistake. The pageant posted scorecards online. Melody had received the lowest talent score in pageant history. One judge wrote, "Is she having a medical emergency?" Another wrote, "Painful to witness." The third just drew a frowny face. Melody quit pageants and now sells essential oils while posting old photos from when she was Little Miss Strawberry Festival.